Greetings, this is August 4th, 7:30 a.m. and I'm searching for data. I've turned to the BC Mobile Fire Plus system to take a look. I found that if I zoomed out a couple levels, I was able to get a nice definition between the dots and the background. This is a view of the Canadian Wildland Information System looking at Canada. I waited or let the page sit for about 10 minutes, and this is about as much definition as I could get, but it's pretty self-explanatory. Now we're looking at the BC Mobile site. We're looking at the area around Cache Creek, and if you notice to the northwest of Cache Creek and to the east of Cache Creek, there is a lot of pattern burning there. If someone is in the area, it looks like the zones are both alert and clear. Perhaps they could leave a comment on what they see. From the perspective of looking at infrared data, it looks like a pattern control burn in anticipation of some major outbreak. I don't understand why they would go through the process with so much territory covered in pattern burns that unless they were anticipating that these winds were going to cause the larger fire to move exponentially. Now we're going to look at a close-up of that area north of Highway 1, and when I look closely I can see a couple of hotspots have crossed the highway just north of Juniper Beach. They're on the south side of Highway 1. Okay, let's jump over across the fire perimeter to the northern flank, and I just want to take a look and see how far north everything's moved. It appears it's about 5 to 6 kilometers from 70 Mile House. There's a lot of activity there, but it could be that they are back burning. Jumping over to the midsection of the Elephant Hill wildfire, we can see again there's that pattern burning on the left-hand side. That's the southwest flank that came over Highway 97 and is heading towards Highway 99. If someone's in the area, it's only an evacuation alert south of Highway 99. Perhaps they could leave a comment. I'd prefer you found safety first and reported from somewhere that you felt confident in. There is also that area around Barricade Creek. That's the high intensity grouping on the right hand side of the fire line on the eastern flank. It's not been put within the fire perimeter yet, and I'm unsure of why that is. There's a significant amount of activity there with the hot spots, yet it remains on its own and moving eastward. Let's look at the northeast flank. The fire line is beginning to take on a look of an apparition of its own. There's a significant amount of hot spots that are outside the fire line. Those look consistent other than the expansion south of the upper end of Loon Lake. I'm just jumping over to Clinton, and I'm seeing a few hot spots outside the fire line. It's peppering a little bit there. This will have to be confirmed with some of the other systems, whether their perimeters include that or this is new movement into the Clinton East area. So don't be worried by this data. What we're seeing is infrared hotspots, and it is a wildfire, and I'm gonna try and track down how accurate it is. So I'm not trusting anything until I see confirmation from 2 or 3 sources. So I'll leave you with images from the beta system, and they'll be on for about 20 seconds each, and you can pause them and examine them closely for the areas of your concern. This first image is of Canada, and you can see what's going on and why resources are stretched. Okay, we're sitting at 119,094 hectares burned and 19,802 hotspots. That is 1,152 more hotspots than there were at the last satellite check. So I am seeing a lot of this pattern infrared. And if you're like me, you might be asking, why is all this necessary and why is so much territory required to be ignited? Here is the northeast section. And you can see Upper Loon Lake has a couple of spots that are now adjacent to the eastern shore, just south of it by about 500 meters. Hihium is still looking clear, but there are 4 or 5 spots to the east of the eastern flank. And this is that southeastern flank. I'm not seeing the spots going to the highway, whereas the other satellite data definitely showed infrared activity all the way to the highway, with a couple of them crossing at Juniper Beach. Okay, I've got to grab a couple Z's, and I don't want to leave you confused. It's just this is what's available. It's an active situation. A lot of people are trying to access the systems, and we'll muddle through. We will.